What it do? It's that dude, the digital pit viper, MFing boss, back to stir your feathers, shake up your soul, hit you where the black thought goes, deep inside the kingdom of the God. Boy, digital is coming so hard. Welcome to the show. Now let's break down what the show is all about. What is the digital doing? Welcome to Divine Love. First to hit the block, just the bad young brother on the clock. I see my man Agasa. Welcome to the show, King. Right about now, I think you chilling. You ain't even got to get to the money. So Pit Boss been sitting back, just staying out of it, trying to. But boy, do they love shooting them subliminals. The mindset of the lower self. I'm using words to try to relate to those who can't relate to Pit, the motherfucking viper, the goddamn boss of the digital dialogue, the digital Pit boss. Baby, baby, baby. So I hit y'all with a little bit of entertainment mixed in with a little information so that you may walk away with a little education in the form of entertainment. Because if I don't make this shit interesting, you won't tune in. You won't share my videos. You won't donate to my campaign. You won't donate to my ministry. So I flip these words so that they're mental, see? Because we're going deep down into the pitch black thought. And I'm steadily investing your contributions to develop better what I do. Oh, goddamn, y'all, be careful. Sambo is loose. He got off the rope and he running around the goddamn chat. He's there for your pleasure. So as we kind of dig down into the lightweight ideologies of these platforms, because the digi ain't gonna really go too hard and call no names, but boy, do they make you sick and tired. Now let's use some acronyms for the lower self. Our very first acronym for the lower self, given to us by an oppressive mind, was the straight out nigga, nigger, niggas, niggettes, nigrettes, any form of the nigger. Now, obviously, many of the captives came from an area called the Niger, near the Niger River. And if you just add on the plural sound of Niger, you got nigger. So maybe in itself, its first expression was not to be negative, but was to identify where the captives were coming from. These are the niggers from the Niger, or these are the Nigers from near the area of the Niger River, where the 9 rivers split and turn into Orishas. That's just a goddamn fact. Where we sat for 1,000 years in in nature, building civilization, traveling from place to place, here and there, to and fro, dipping in our pitch black thought, hoping that everything that we thought got bought. But apparently, we were not aware of a worldview. We were not thinking what our enemies were thinking. And our enemies was thinking of you. Because what they wanted to create was a world economic trade. And the cargo of the day shall be Black Nigers. Now, as we said, it may not have started off so negative in its first approach. But as you got sardined into the ship, that big first boat coming to get you, the good ship Jesus, sent out by Jewish investors who hate Jesus and thought it'd be some funny shit to name the ship Jesus. You know what I'm talking about. Jesus is coming to get you, Nigers. Take you to the promised land. Drop you off in Jerusalem, Virginia, 1611. Actually, it was Jamestown. But Jerusalem wouldn't be that far away. Trust and believe. As we got there, we ran into Shakespeare's version of a low-level white boy. A low-level white boy. His job is to break your black ass in, acclimate you to the weather, give you an assignment. You in a world of confusion. You're already sick from the boat trip. Your back hurt from the wood plank. Your head banging from eating oatmeal all day. You got every problem in the world. The last thought you remember is your black enemy brother smacking you up and tying you up and marching your ass out the Niger River to the west coast of Africa, where he was going to meet up with his white business partner and sell your ass into slavery. Oh yes, I guess your best wasn't good enough. But nevertheless, you're in Jamestown, Virginia, and you about to get broken down and broken in. And the man that's going to break you in, well, the aristocratic white slave master who wouldn't dare be seen in a public dinner with a low-level white trash Scottish immigrant, illegal alien to the nation or land of what we call in America, Shakespeare called the cracker. 1590 in a stage play. King James the First. How in the hell does Digital Pit Boss remember all this shit off the dome? I don't know. But however I remember this shit, I'm gonna smack you with it. Nevertheless, we fast forward from 1590, and the character Cracker, well, actually, Cracker was his description. A laughing, boastful, arrogant, poor white trash personality type. When he got his ass over to Jamestown and got him a job for the white aristocrat with the ducktails and top hat, they gave him a mule, a horse, a whip, and an assignment. break in the slave, teach him how to speak that Spanglish talk you talk. And so the cracker was happily to oblige. Yes, sir, boss, is what he said. I shall do such a thing. Now he looked at your ass and said, now looky here, great warrior prince of the Niger River. Forget about your gods. You here now. That's my remake of the Real Roots. You're going to have to learn to talk English. Now repeat after me. My name is Toby. That dude in that movie, he was the cracker. Not because he was cracking a goddamn whip, but because of his character, because of his low esteem for self, because of his laxitude for having a God within him, for being a member of a Satan sectarian cult, having no morals or value for human life. He is conditioned and prepared to stand in the way of the goddamn black man and break him in, turn him into a goddamn slave. So the trek began. Eventually, that black man spoke a white trash form of English. Yes, massa. No, massa. I can do that, massa. Yes, sir. That's how the white man talked to him. That's how he learned to talk back. And when the aristocratic Jews and Great Britons visited their business of operation called the slave plantation with their fine English accents in their proper posture, they looked at the cracker and said, now let's see what you done created, cracker. And the cracker wasn't offended. The boss is paying him swell. Gave him a job in America. So he brought out his first group of black folks and said, now speak to the massa. Hello, massa. Oh, goddamn, the Niger king can speak English, not English, but English. He can speak that English. And he began to really get the idea of what they're trying to do. Now he's a black cracker. Ooh-wee, the version of the white cracker. He became the black cracker now. That's your history. Georgia made a baseball team called the Atlanta Black Crackers. Go take a look. Google it. Look at the smiles on their faces. They ain't got no shame in their game. This word didn't offend. This word was a description. And describing it would do. Now, eventually that word became a puzzle to the pieces. And the white cracker decided he gonna shed that shit. And you know, if the white man gonna shed it, the black man gonna shed it. So he shedded the description of a black cracker and a white cracker. And then they gave him a new goddamn title. From the description of the Indian thuggers, that was a ruthless band of Indian men that used to kill the Great Britons coming through the land, robbing and pillaging people. Their god was Kalima. Some devilish, deep down black magic. And they was some goddamn ruthless bandits. When the white man came across the thuggards, he was like, now goddamn, they ruthless. Just like in WA, goddamn, they ruthless. Don't give a damn about the white man. Smashing. So the white man, loving to take a character and a word, he eventually integrated the word to the white man's vocabulary. And being that at the time he integrated the word, the black man was under obedience, he wasn't a thug. But that Italian white boy, oh goddamn, he got to America and didn't give a damn. He got to organizing crime, selling bootleg liquor. White man called him a thug as he acted like the Indian thuggards that they met on their worldwide conquer mission. So then the thug was born, and the ideology of the thug fit right on in with the black cracker. So now we have a black cracker, ruthless. God, that's the broken slave or the broken king of Africa, the plains of Africa, broken by slavery, reduced from a honorable king and queen of Africa, man in slavery, a black cracker. Then the Italian, being demonetized by the elite. Got the Italian mafia wearing fly suits and getting money. Straight thugs. So as these characters in our American history started to build, those characterizations kept falling down the line of moral respect, right on down to the Jewish word for apartment complexes with Section 8 living, the ghetto. And all of this low-level thought process merges into a culture called the ghetto. And the first ghetto were the Jews in Germany. They were building ghettos back when black folks was building plantations, developing cotton industries. The Jew was poor as shit back when the black man was being broken. The Jew was being categorized as the lowest form of the white world. And they couldn't get no justice till they got to America and found out that the black man get treated worse than them. Oh, God damn, they said. In 2,000 years, they have never experienced such a thing on any continent, on any planet, in any solar system, where the white Jew had somebody being treated worse than him. He said, damn, this got to be heaven. And understanding the plight of the black folks, he quickly got himself educated, became a lawyer, and left that black man in the Jewish American version of a ghetto. So now you got the name of a low-level place, the ghetto. You got the attributes of the attitudes that will live there, thugs and black crackers. You got the demonstrative name exchange from Nigeria, the Niger region, the Nigers, the men of the Niger area, the Nigers. And with the cracker tone to it, Nigers became niggers. And niggers became thugs. And thugs, they became rappers. And rappers influenced the world, hypnotizing the world with an ever expanding understanding of the lowest level of a black man. And then it's propagated to be cool. Because if you was to ever return to your state of being and moral respect, every time you see one of these weak ass, fake black power ass niggas come on the radio acting hard and ain't bust a goddamn grape in a fruit fight with cliques on, that's your motherfucking thug. That's your motherfucking nigger. That's your motherfucking black cracker. That's your broken down slave. That's the attributes of what they express. They too far along in the puzzle to understand the piece they playing. They just think they hard, but you ain't hard. You numb. And numb ain't really hard. It's stiff, calcified, but calcified ain't really hard. When you become petrified, you might be hard. Hard as a board, stuck in the lights like a deer, waiting on a semi to turn you into roadkill. So there's a misunderstanding of energy being given to the lowest level mind who has adopted the black cracker, the thugger, the ghetto mentality, killing the queen or the king or the prince or the princess or the warrior that he once was years gone by, and replacing that energy with this falsified, calcified, never been petrified personality type, and fronting on us on a YouTube video, pumping us up with a battery pack, making us think we can grab a pistol and march for our heart and our freedom. Now we understand that you got to fight for what you want, but the fight is mental. And the strategy to win is to outthink your opponent in a fight, not to just fight. Brute ain't gonna always win. Sometimes you're gonna need to be clever. Sometimes you got to remain calm, because under that type of disposition, you can clearly see the battlefield. Now y'all know that Pit Boss is a master of the chess game. A couple of my friends done came in the room, got a little bip bop bip, hit up across the head on the chess game. It's all good. We just testing your might. Make sure you see the light. So when you see these, now everybody that love black power and want to get out there and do their thing, that don't make you fake. Instead, you hard in the face of this white man until that white man confronts you. And it's time to die for what you believe in. But then on the screen, This shit is just a microsecond of you going hard before you get blowed up by a STEM-based technology they sent into the third level floor with a camera and a bomb on it to pull up on your black power ass and blow you to smithereens. Because you was being charged by a falsified narrative that you heard on the screen, dipping in that pitch black thought, thinking you could change the game because you're going to go out and take a few out. You're not using your powers. Your powers are found in your pitch black thought, and your pitch black thought goes deep inside you. And it is called the kingdom. You can't see it. It's pitch black in there. You can't see it. A faintness sounds like a voice in there, but it's not an audio voice. It's an inspiration that comes into the cranial of your dome and hits the electrical senses of your body, and your mind can envision the thought. And with that inspiration, you stand in front of your adversary with a cosmic power, and nothing in front of you can dominate this energy. Because the energy that was created in that kingdom is not made. It just is. It doesn't transfer or change shapes. It doesn't do none of that. It has no physical characteristics. It don't go from light into energy, into motion. It don't do none of that. It creates that. But this falsified image that we call niggas, thugs, and all the likes, you're powered by the wrong source. You're not tapping into the greatest power ever. You've hooked up into the emotional roller coaster. You walked in the wrong theme park. You're not in the kingdom where the power lies. You operating on a false power. Your power won't allow you to see clearly. Your every word, your every breath, every time you speak, it's only emotions. You ain't really gonna bust a grape. Stop playing. I mean, you might get extra emotionally charged and hit the battlefield blind. But we gonna see you. And we're gonna be like, look at this nigga. He going ham on the motherfucking police. That nigga fighting like 50 of them. And then it's gonna be over. And we're gonna have to just put you on a t-shirt like this nigga was a gangster. This motherfucker boy, this nigga was a thug. This motherfucker right here was a motherfucking G. Nigga, that nigga went at him. Nigga, they ain't give a fuck. We're gonna do all of that for you. but it ain't gonna mean a thing. Because the origination of what you did not start from the proper power. What you say and do is not going to have complete and total change. Like the highest level of meditation did in 30 AD in a city called Jerusalem, where a power greater than his captives allowed himself to be captured in order to destroy the separation between the weak and the main source. Something gotta die so that everything can live. And you fake misguided niggas, you fake misguided thugs, be a motherfucking gangbanger. If you want to bang, just go all out. Don't give a fuck about nothing. Just go all out. Get the busing, nigga. What you waiting for? But don't come on YouTube putting fake battery packs in a nigga back, because you won't do it. Because there's some psychos listening to this YouTube. Sleeper cells. Niggas who been trained by the school to pipeline industry. Niggas who been integrated into a society where their teachers are white girls and integrated black minds, and got a nigga thinking he need to go get programmed for a PhD so he can come on to some nigga YouTube university, no disrespect, and preach that bullshit, that false battery pack. Get a nigga amped up for nothing. For about 2-3 years of some bullshit. Just so he can be reduced and put into a cell to charge up somebody's society in the middle of nowhere and create a microeconomics surrounding a penitentiary, the pentagram community. The penitentiary is based on a pentagram. 5 chambers of a long ass cells where they're going to store the power. You fake energized Duracell battery niggas gonna go in a cell and power up the pentagon, the pentagram, and they gonna move you niggas into the 21st century, building up their communities. Little floating cities in the middle of nowhere. First you build a penitentiary, then you have the goddamn judges throw the key away on all these fake motherfuckers. Then they put your ass on a bus and you arrive in the middle of nowhere to a big ass pentagram, and they lock your power into a cell, and that's one cell of the bigger battery, and you energize their goddamn community as you sit there doing push-ups, getting swole as a motherfucker, ready to become the hardest nigga on the yard around this motherfucker. Oh yeah. And then They start building gas stations and homes so that they can live in while they come work in this place. It's a mental trap. We call it the revolutionary spirit. We call it thug niggas. We call it ghetto ass niggas. We call it all kinds of shit. It comes from all kinds of angles. One in that pitch black thought. Are you really tapping into real power when you think in your deepest self? Paid all day on what you gonna do to that nigga. Are you really tapping into real power? Are you using your brain like the art of war? Have you ever heard the statement that the greatest way to win a war is to convince your enemy they have lost before you ever fire a single shot? That's so you ain't got to waste your battery physically fighting. Now, I agree. I agree. There comes a time when you're going to have to be thugging around this motherfucker, when you got to be gangster around this bitch. That's at the last moment when all options have been utilized to no effect. When you're trapped in the corner like the wolf, the wounded wolf, who knows he only got a little bit of energy left. And he coming out that corner ready to die. Shorty want to be a thug. And it's a setup from the start. We getting sick and tired of the fake black power. Real black power is economics. Economics is the means of production in your environment. The means of production in your environment is created by your skill. The skills you will need to create your economic environment is an actual trade. Those trades are compartmentalized into segments of understanding. It comes from the root of your desire to create a stem that will produce a leaf that will bear its fruit, so that you may nourish but when you dummy ass niggas remove the God gene from your brain, you are not able to go inside yourself and think so hard and line yourself up so complete that you can tap into a power that is greater than your emotions. Your emotions ain't no power at all. Let's do this form.
I'm sick and tired of niggas. I'm tired of niggas rapping, calling themselves goons. Niggas willing to do anything to make it, so they have absolutely no problem becoming coons. So what these niggas don't understand is that 1.5 years ago, my little girl was put on this earth, and I don't want her surrounded by niggas. So I figure if I dedicate my life to the removal of niggas, justice will truly be served. But my people in the media are in full approval of niggas, so my words hold little weight. Now I got to be slick to get to my own people. Become like a Malcolm X reincarnate, eating a bacon sandwich, yelling down with the revolution. And it gets way too confusing, but there's too many of us out here supporting backwards movement and knocking self-improvement. Scared to show who we are because we're all trying to be the same. For instance, niggas out here wearing designer jeans, white tees, and Jordans every single day. One of these niggas wants to be different, so what does he do? He throws on a chain, but he looks like the last 50 niggas in the last 50 videos. All these niggas aspire to be rappers, claiming they're original, but all these brothers sound the same. Niggas rapping about killing each other over differences, not realizing when this country looks at us, we are all the same. And the powers that be are applauding people. We are soaking in ignorance and pushing out niggas like McDonald's processes burgers. Over 60 billion niggas served. I'm loving it. And the irony of that statement, girl, you ain't never met a nigga like me. Well, unfortunately, every nigga who's not like you is a nigga just like you. So that's 60 billion and 2 niggas served. The man is loving it. Niggas give a damn about our history. I bet if our history is written on a dry erase board, the man put a grand and erase in some of your hands, you be rubbing that out with a smile, with dreams of leaning back in your ride as our ancestors' light gets dimmer and dimmer. But we don't think like that because that G he just put it in our pockets means that our rims can get bigger and bigger. Porch monkeys get the courage to step off the stoop and hit the streets with their ignorance once they get full of that liquor and don't say nothing about a nigga's mama. A nigga would die for his mama, cry for his mama, lie for his mama. That's so mamas. Niggas love their mamas. We got too many baby mamas. And the new drama is that she's running around talking shit, but you got in the classic nigga defense, which is what? Fuck that bitch. All because you on Twitter couldn't control your emotion. You hauled off and hit her. I swear to God, my man Rodzilla said it best. A man who can't control his emotions is a bitch. And there are a lot of bitches running around this bitch. But think about this. How could a man like this know to be held accountable for his actions when he grew up in a household where neither parent really cared, so he never had anyone to answer to? I mean, every time he talked to his mom, she put him down. So with his ace-fitted cap on low, he hits the town and allows it to be his world and girls to be his focus. When they leave the club, him and his boys swarm them like locusts, scared to show who they really are. They let the liquor be their courage. Fed the code of the game of the streets all their life, yet still malnourished, searching for a purpose, full of self-hurt, but no self-worth, knowing they'll never make it. Niggas are exposed to so much, so young, yet so sheltered, because to them, doing it big is spending a weekend in LA or taking a trip to Vegas. To him, going to another continent is like his daddy tell him he loves him. It never happened. So he searches for love in these streets where every corner store is ran by non-residents. And the fact that we hate this country is evident. What do we say? Forget gas prices, fuck Bush, we love Obama, but hate being American. But this comes out of mouths of niggas who are willing to die and sacrifice their lives to chase a dead president. You gotta love the irony. And I'm sorry, but Barack Obama is not the answer to ending all black on black violence and poverty. We are. And I'm not saying he don't care. I'm just saying he don't have to live around here. We do. And I know his campaign is promoting change, but that's a problem. There's too many of us out here waiting for change. Like my man who stands in my old neighborhood at the Arco on West Grand and Market in West Oakland with his hands open every day waiting for change. And what do we do when we see this man? We frown. We put him down. Yet to understand that a lot of us are no different than this man, allowing our self-worth to be determined by how much somebody puts in our hand on the 1st or 15th or 10th or 25th. Kids ages 1 to 15, know if they live on 10th, they can't go past 25th. This is nigga shit. And I've been to the mother continent. And I know what it's like to get off the plane and have an African say, "What's up, my nigga?" Because they think it's my actual first name. And it is a shame out of some of the things I say, y'all want to fight about. But if you don't like the things I say, guess what? I don't like it either. So do me a favor, take a break from all the ignorance for a year, and please stop giving me new nigga content to write about. And I don't want your girl, dude.
I'm the digital pit boss. I ain't greater or lesser than anybody. I'm just me. You just you. What we need is a new way of thinking. If you represent some goddamn shit from way back when, talk about the shit you represent. Why every 3 or 4 syllables out your goddamn mouth does your paradigm dog the Bible. You weak. You ain't got shit. If you don't speak the Bible out your mouth, you can't talk about shit. Because you can't present your paradigm and show us their leader in history who put a dent in what you call black power that didn't represent that Bible. Anything that tried was denied, that did not get a way in to the kingdom. Anybody talking about they cursed or under a curse, you are not in the kingdom. Anybody waiting on the kingdom, you are not in the kingdom. You can't tap into power. You can't move a mountain. You'll never be a flower taller than any flower. You'll just be emotional. A captive from the Niger region. You'll just be an economic slave. You'll remain an African American, a citizen, and by law cannot own property. You'll be forever confused. You'll be forever marching because you ain't got no power. The people you marching to don't ever march because they sitting on power. But the power they got is in fear of one thing: the power in the kingdom and those that are aware and can access that power. Y'all can continue all you want trying to narrate Alice Bailey in blackface, but you never go in. Never. If Marcus Garvey was here today, he wouldn't agree with you. If Khalid Muhammad was here today, he had a God that wouldn't agree with you. If Elijah Muhammad was here today, he had a God that wouldn't agree with you. If Noble Drew Ali was here today, he had a God that did not agree with you. And your fake black power asses. And you can't name a man who built a greater institution that fortified and edified black people to build black Wall Streets all around the country. Little Liberia in Baja California to connect with the former president of Liberia. You can't find a greater application of the manifestation of the power formed from the kingdom of pitch black thought. Digital pit boss.